By the Jinsha River in Panjihua, Sichuan province, lies the simple yet mysterious village of the Yi people. As a vital stop along the southern Silk Road, Yishala village has borne witness to countless changes over the past 2,000 years. The writer Sima Shangru of the Han Dynasty led the frontier by digging through the mountains and repairing the roads here. During the Three Kingdoms period, the famous Prime Minister Zhuge Liang guided troops through this river to capture Menghuo 7 times. Now, there are over 600 households here and 2,000 villagers. Beginning their work during daybreak and retiring at sunset, they enjoy a peaceful, idyllic life. In Yishala village, the tablet of Heaven, Earth, Sovereign Parent Teacher is enshrined in the middle of the main room inside every household. The first thing the villagers do every day is worship in front of the altar by burning incense. Respecting the world will bring wealth. Repaying favors will bring prosperity. Everyone follows these family instructions in the village.
We are very grateful for the life that we have today. We don't forget our ancestors, nor do we dare forget about nature. Our parents taught us that if we are ungrateful, prosperity will not come to our family or career. We would not be respected. This 1,000-year-old tradition has been passed down for generations.
For them, to be grateful from the bottom of their hearts is the wisdom of existence summarized by the villagers, which has evolved into a unique custom. In Yishala village, every family raises a dog to guard the house or take walks with them in the mountains. The way they see it, their dogs are not only partners, but are also considered benefactors.
I see a lot of dogs around the village. Is everyone raising one?
Just about every family. Some raise 3 or 4, and some just raise 1 or 2. The dogs have a high status at home. If you visit someone's household, but then have the audacity to kick their dog, the master will be very unhappy with you.
For the people living in Yishala village, loving and being grateful to dogs has been passed down for thousands of years. According to legend, there was once a monstrous flood that overran the land where the Yi clan had lived. They say that only 2 siblings survived drifting in a wooden boat, with a dog as their only other companion. Everything was destroyed in the disastrous flood. With nothing to eat or wear, the 2 siblings had almost lost all hope until they found out that the dog was carrying 3 rice seeds on its coat.
They collected the seeds that were on the dog and planted them in the ground. That's when the Yi clan decided to settle down here by cultivating the crops and farming. That is why we have such deep feelings for these dogs of ours. We raise them to repay the gratitude we have for them.
Relying on the seeds that the siblings found on the dog, humanity survived. The tale of the dog bringing the rice seeds has been passed down for generations in the village. As the elders happily retell the story, the children in Yishala village learn their first lesson about gratitude. To thank the dog for its heroism, Yishala village holds a special custom in honor of it. During the end of each year, a special festival is held just for the dogs. Today, Mao Zongcai has risen early. He is preparing special food for the village dogs, mutton boiled in sheepskin. This is the grandest dish reserved only for special guests and celebrations that are held in Yishala village.
This is a rather ancient practice. From when Zhuge Liang arrived at the Jinsha River after he had captured Menghuo 7 times. While waiting to cross the river, the soldiers lit fires for their meals. They didn't want to waste the lamps, but the cauldrons weren't enough to boil them all. But Zhuge Liang was crafty. When he saw sheepskins laid aside, he collected them all and then hung them on the trees. The sheepskins were then used to boil the mutton.
In the Three Kingdoms period, Zhuge Liang led an expedition to suppress the rebellion at the southern border of the kingdom of Shu and captured the chieftain of the Nanman tribe, Mang Huo, 7 times. Mang Huo was compelled to stop fighting. They say that after Mang Huo was given an important post, he held a banquet in honor of Zhuge Liang to repay his act of mercy. Mutton boiled in sheepskin was the main course for the feast. Since then, the dish has symbolized gratitude in Yishala village. After being boiled for over 6 hours, the mutton is put on the table. As per the village's rules, on this day, family members must not start with the meal first. Mao Tsong-tsai must first worship his ancestors. Afterwards, he brings the mutton to his little partner to reward him for his hard work over the past year. Once the dog has had its fill, Mao Tsong-tsai's family may begin enjoying their meal. As a sign of gratitude to their animals, no one in Yishala village eats the meat of a dog, cow, horse, or donkey. Tradition states that when a dog perishes, the villagers will bury it under the trees in the mountain, believing that it will return to the mountain god. As written in the creation epic Le Te Yi of the Yi people, the gods created man in ancient times. The ancestral tablets of heaven fell to the mountains. A fire burned for 9 straight days. This fire gave birth to man. The mountain god who ruled the world gave them everything they needed for survival. For the people of Yishala, the ceremony to worship the mountain god is the most solemn occasion of the year. Bimo is chanting the 1,000-year-old scriptures. This yearly occurrence is the one day when people can communicate with heaven and earth. They are both awestruck and grateful.
Our ancestors have been worshipping the tree of the mountain god since ancient times. You see, hunting and nomadic practices can't be separated from nature. It brings us a lot of things such as good harvests, as well as great weather, happy families, and country.
Every year we come here to worship this tree of the mountain god, to thank it for the wonderful life it has bestowed upon us.
Yishala village rests on a beautiful landscape and fertile lands, and has been here since ancient times. Yishala village is located in the canyon of Jinsha River between 3 hills. Owing to its unique geography, the village is warm in winter and cold in summer. Every season, brocades are piled high with flowers and fruits. Around the village, sprawling grape valleys and cornfields bless the people with their abundance. They are cherished with gratitude. The villagers of Yishala never cut down old trees in the mountain. They only collect dead branches for their fires. The instructions left by their ancestors are now village regulations by which everyone abides. As a result, the people continue to enjoy the beautiful countryside scenery and bountiful fruits. Most of the elders here live long lives. In Yishala village, among the 200 elders over 65 years old, at least 50 are more than 80 years old, and over 10 are more than 90. The oldest man died at the age of 104. For thousands of years, the people in this village have had happy and peaceful lives. They have come to understand the meaning of gratitude for the world.
Being grateful to the world is practically etched in the bloodline of peasants everywhere. We humans reap treasures from the land itself just so we can support our offspring. But of course, this must be done according to the laws of the world. The land will survive, but that is possible only when we remember to take these treasures in strict moderation. That is why people hold this attitude of respecting heaven and earth. Reverence should always come before gratitude. Humans believe that everything you get is done through mutual affection. But it is also acceptable if they don't receive it. When somebody believes that he deserves everything the world has to offer and yet does not show gratitude for the bounty of all, that person will simply cut off all fortune from the world. That is why all generations of Chinese peasants believe a man will receive good karma if he shows kindness to the world and to all living creatures.
In Yishala village, almost all the doors to main rooms face the southeast in memory of their ancestors who once lived in the middle and lower reaches of Changjiang River. 600 years ago, during the Ming Dynasty, Zhu Yuanjiang sent 300,000 soldiers to Yunnan in order to suppress the rebellion of the remnants of the Yuan dynasty. After the Hongwu years, the soldiers decided to settle here. It was the first great migration in the history of Yishala village. Soldiers from Jiangsu and Jiangxi married local women. Although their ethnicities had changed, they were still attached to their homeland. And so they built a village of their own, reminiscent of the one in south of the Yangtze River. The cultures of the Yi and Han had since blended together to be passed down to future generations. In Yishala village, the surnames Qi, Mao, Na, and Zhang are the most prevalent. The Mao family accounts for 1/3 of the village and is the largest family. The genealogy of the Mao family still remains in Mao Jipin's family.
Oh, is this your genealogy?
That's right.
Dating as far back as Emperor Qianlong's rule, the weathered genealogy has clearly seen better days, but family instructions remain intact.
It says here life is just like a tree. Who knows how deep its roots grow? The tree will be evergreen with healthy roots, or it will be gray with withered roots. Respect forefathers after fortune. Ancestors bless their descendants. Descendants will succeed in their tests. The results should be told to their ancestors. As you can see, these mottos here are our family instructions. We should use these to teach our descendants so we can pass down our ancestors' knowledge.
The Chinese believe that their ancestors worked hard for what they now have and passed down favorable traditions to ensure the family's prosperity. It is these traditions that Mao Jipin is grateful for. In the 1950s, Mao Jipin was living in poverty and barely had enough to eat. Back then, children as poor as him went back home to farm after middle school. Following their family instruction to focus on education, Mao Jipin's parents made sure to support him in his studies despite their hard life.
In 1969, I went to Yongren County to study in high school. I remember being so excited on my first day too. There was no bus, and the distance between the high school and my home was nearly 40 kilometers. My father carried my bags on his back. On the way there, he told me that our clan had many generations of scholars. He also told me to learn from the elders of our family and to strive to succeed, to honor them.
Inspired by his father's words, Mao Jipin intensified his efforts, eventually making it to college and becoming the first in the village to do so since the establishment of the People's Republic of China. Under his father's tutelage, Mao Jipin's 3 other siblings all went to college, giving the family the honor of having the most college students in the village.
If it wasn't for our family tradition, then maybe my family, including me and my children, would not be the way we are right this moment, nor would we have such good fortune.
The Chinese believe a family owes its prosperity to the merits and virtues of its ancestors. Extending the bloodline and preserving family traditions is considered the best way of honoring them. The genealogy of the Mao family has deteriorated over the years, so Mao Jipin wishes to restore it to repay his ancestors.
As it says in our genealogy, the Mao family originated from Jiangshi and came to Dayao, Chushang, Yunnan province, and later settled down in Yishala village during the 12th year of Emperor Kengshi's reign. So we are actually quite eager to find our fellow clansmen in Dayao County.
In 2005, Mao Jipin went to Maojiwan village in Dayao, Chushong, Yunnan province. According to the genealogy, the largest contingent of the Mao family once lived here. Mao Jipin expected to find clues here. The Mao family believed it is of utmost importance to find their land of origin. It is also very important for them to connect their genealogies. Records in the genealogy are not very detailed. Mao Jipin and the Mao family of Dayao searched the mountains all over Maojiawan village and scoured the ancient gravestones scattered all about to find clues. It took them more than 1 year to find the answer. As recorded in the genealogy, the ancestor Mao Taihua moved to Yunnan from Jishui, Jiangxi to flee war in the late Yuan and early Ming dynasties. He eventually married and had children. After the war, Mao Taihua moved to Hunan with 2 of his sons. His other 2 sons and his descendants stayed in Yongshang and Dayao, Yunnan province. In the 12th year of Emperor Kangshi's rule, the Mao family in Yunnan encountered bandits. The family fled and eventually settled down in Yishala village. In the old days, the roads between Sichuan and Yunnan were steep, and transportation was difficult to come by. Because of this, the 2 families were cut off for 300 years.
So, how did it feel to find your long-lost relatives again? Can you tell us?
We were very excited when we both found our relatives after 300 years. We never thought that this day would actually come. It was very exciting.
They share the same lineage. Blood runs thicker than water, and the ties that bind stay strong. Since then, Mao Jipin has been taking his fellow clansmen to visit Maojiawan village in Dayao. Visiting the Mao family ancestral hall is not just about remembering one's lineage, but also about taking one's family traditions to heart. The ceremony is simple and solemn. Each bow conveys the powerful message that to worship one's ancestors is to inherit their traditions and to ensure the family's prosperity.
Look at the characters for shame, penitence, and gratitude, as each of them is related to the heart. The Chinese people like to keep these 3 characters close to their hearts as they run through the past, present, and future. What should our ancestors leave us? They should leave us wisdom and the hope that their descendants will be good. Our ancestors may be memorial tablets now, but they are in fact the soul of a family. Now let's talk about the Chinese dream. The Chinese dream comes from the family dream. The integration of family and nation is the greatest feature of China. Now our traditional heritage, passed down from ancestors of old, is the very thing that has made Chinese people what they are today.
For the Chinese, most grace comes from parents. And for the villagers in Yishala, the degree to which one repays one's parents is the standard by which one is evaluated. It is a busy day for young Shanglian's family. She is turning 70 years old. Her children have come back from other cities. Friends and relatives in the village have also come to help.
My sons and daughters and my in-laws have come back to celebrate my birthday. I'm 70 years old and this is my first time celebrating, and I'm very happy.
An old woman celebrates her first birthday at the age of 70. It may seem peculiar, but it is a tradition in Yishala village. Here, children don't celebrate their birthdays while their parents are still alive. However, after their parents pass on, their children may celebrate the birthday for them.
Our parents were going through the most difficult of times when they were raising us. That's why if we celebrate our birthdays while our parents are still alive, then that simply means we do not have any respect for them and that we should be ashamed.
For thousands of years, the ancestors of Yishala village lived high in the mountains and hills, disconnected from the outside world. Back when medicine was not as we know it today, mothers often suffered immense pain when giving birth to a child. Many even died during childbirth. That is why the villagers believe that the birthday of a child is considered a reminder of a mother's suffering. Thus, the tradition that no birthdays are celebrated while one's parents are still alive was born. Young Shanglian's children have prepared a lavish celebration for her first birthday party. They have invited the village band to liven things up.
The Song of Flowers. Its lyrics are actually about the month of lambs. That's right. The lambs kneel down as a sign of respect to show their parents their filial piety. You see, we must show our parents respect. Yes, this song has been passed down for hundreds of years. The Song of Flowers embodies filial piety and will be sung for many years to come.
It is said that crows feed their parents and lambs kneel before them. The mother takes the seat of honor and accepts the blessings her children give her. She looks on to them happy and content. In Chinese culture, grace is not only about gratitude, but also about giving back. For the villagers of Yishala, kindness is repaid with respect, while parents are repaid with filial obedience and friends with loyalty. Chi Wan Wei knows he would never have survived without the other villagers' help. He has never forgotten the grace that the other villagers have bestowed upon him. In the 1960s, Chi Wan Wei's family did not have enough to wear or eat. Upon learning this, the other villagers decided to give them maize. And on holidays, they sent some cloth so they could make something to wear. Chi Wan Wei grew up with food and clothes that came from neighboring families. But life was still hard, and when he was 7 years old, Chi Wan Wei fell ill. Back then, his family could not afford medical treatment.
I was very sickly as a child. I would need several injections a month just to get better. There was a barefoot doctor in our village who has long since passed away. While he was still alive, he would always give us medicine without charging us. Medicine was hard to come by. If it hadn't been for his health, then I probably would have died a long time ago.
Chi Wan Wei will never forget how the doctor saved his life. He is now a prosperous businessman, but he would not be where he is today without the help of the villagers. People would often describe him as the boy who is always grateful. Today, he has an inkstone business which makes 70 to 80,000 yuan a year. Several years ago, Chi Wan Wei heard that the barefoot doctor was ill and could not afford treatment. Without hesitating, Chi Wan Wei gave the doctor money.
It happened many years ago while he was still alive. He was in very bad condition. He had lived a very hard life and had taken its toll on him. When my inkstone business began to do better, I went and visited him many times, hoping that I could pay him back.
In recent years, Yishala has been developing its tourism. In order to repay the villagers, Chi Wan Wei has taken out most of his savings to build a historical hall in the village.
The hall is under construction, and some things have also been collected. I want to exhibit them so that the villagers can see how Yishala came to be and learn about their heritage.
In Yishala village, the spirit of gratitude has been ingrained into every aspect of the lives of the people. Much has changed since ancient times, and Yishala village has changed along with it. Along with their agricultural economy, tourism has brought more income to the villagers. In Yishala village, people live happy lives and believe in the importance of gratitude. They now live in an age of prosperity where they have the opportunity to make their dreams come true. Gone are the hard times, and in their place lies a bright and better future.
Yeah.